Hi, I'm Steve Gompertz of QRx Partners, and welcome to this week's Quality Heretic. I know a lot of my videos, I'm trying to teach you something, some tidbit of information. Today's going to be more of a little bit of a rant about something that really bothers me, and that is the prevalence of what I'll call fake quality experts out on LinkedIn. Um, I'm connected to a lot of people out there. I appreciate. I've got over 5,000 followers now, and I'm just amazed by that, and that's great. Um, but I'm amazed because there are people out there with far more, 10 times more, 20 times more, 100 times more followers. But what really amazes me how often those people know nothing or appear to know nothing based on what they post. And usually it's connected to some really nice looking graphic. You've probably all seen some of these out there show up in your feed, these wonderful looking graphics. And aren't those one great? This must be a really smart person. And I'm going to listen to what they have to say, or, take that to heart. I'm going to share it with my friends and all that kind of thing. And the key is you've got to read these things carefully. You have not just the post itself, right? Because the text of the post is it can be an issue, but the content of the graphics, right? And all of these you can eventually figure out are AI generated because the mistakes are not something somebody would have intentionally put in if they really understood the topic. And then, I'm still questioning whether or not the people who post these actually get the topics they're posting about. We're just trying to look as if they are credible in order to pick up more clicks and more followers for whatever reason. Because there's no money to be made in that on LinkedIn, not directly. But I think it's an ego thing. Right? Can I get a bunch of followers? And maybe that brings them over to people's businesses, but you got to be really careful out there. The internet's always been a dangerous place. AI makes it even more so because it gets so easy to generate this information so quickly. And like I said, then I just see way too many people applauding this work, right? And I get on there and, some of the people who post these things have 150,000 followers. I'm just amazed by that, right? So what that means is as soon as they post something, there's 300 likes suddenly and 50 reposts. And you can tell nobody is looking at this stuff to see, is this worthy of a repost or of congratulating the poster in the first place? Oftentimes it's plagiarized. What really got me going on this was one day in my feed. It's that one that says RCA methods that showed up 7 times in the course of an hour, all posted by different people. And I don't mean reposts. All of them were put up as original posts. So all of them were claiming to be the original author of this material. No attribution to each other, clearly plagiarized. I don't know who the originator was, probably some AI bot. And now they're grabbing it and going, oh, I'm going to show my audience this and make it look like I know something without having generated that. And I'm not going to say it's particular geographic location or culture. I see it across the board, from all different places on the planet. I think there's just this attempt to want to be relevant, and people will do anything they can. And so, as the person absorbing this, you've got to be really careful. But I want to share with you a couple of my favorites that popped up. This one uh, graphically is very appealing. When this one popped up, I went, oh, that's really something easy to look at. And then right away, I like the idea, right? They're trying to provide a quick overview in simple language of the GMP elements of ISO 1345. And at first I was like, well, I don't know if I differentiate between those two things, but I think I get where they're coming at, right? What are the things that are important from the operations or the production side? And I'm always a big fan of can we simplify things, make concepts easier to understand. So I was like, great, somebody's making a good effort at this. And like I said, it looked great. All right. Now I don't know if anybody's picked up the problem yet. Okay, but when you look below at the 6 boxes for clauses 6 through 10, the problem is that ISO 1345 only has 8 clauses. So I don't know what 9 and 10 are supposed to be. And by the way, these don't match up correctly anyway, regardless of what clause number is up there. They're just erroneous information that has nothing to do, or very minimally to do with 1345. And I commented on it, and the poster responded to me and just said, I was just looking to share some information to make it easier. And I said, but you're sharing crap. This is just wrong. And look how many people reposted it and clapped. for you because they didn't think about it at all. So that one was just pretty egregious, 10 clauses in a standard that only has eight. This one jumped out at me right away because I'm a big fan of Ishikawa diagrams and fishbone diagrams. When I talk about when I teach root cause analysis, I talk about a fishbone diagram being one of the important tools you can pull out of your toolbox for that. But then right away, a couple of things caught my eye, right? The 7M, right? Well, typically Ishikawa is about a 6M. Now you can do whatever you want with an Ishikawa diagram. So my first thought was, okay, they're going to they're going to push for 7Ms. And all right, great, let's see what they're doing there. Except when you look carefully at the fish bones, there are six bones, but there are nine categories, and some of them are repeated. Notice method and method are there twice. Sorry, method is there three times. Okay. So suddenly I went, I'm not getting this. Six bones, nine categories. And then you look at the kind of the color-coded bar right underneath the fish, and that's got six. You're going, okay, so which one is it there? Um, anyway, we're losing credibility pretty quick here, but again, it was one of those things people just simply started reposting it because doesn't it look wonderful? And therefore, it must clearly explain the concept. The other thing, if I can move my shoulder out of the way, is it did include a supposed picture of Karo Isakawa, except that's not at all what he looks like. So I had to kind of laugh about that one as well. Another one was this one that popped up. Now, content-wise, nothing really wrong with this. Okay. The person was trying to differentiate between the US regulatory environment for medical devices and the record categories that FDA requires versus the technical file as used elsewhere. The only problem was the day they posted this was February 2nd of this year, the day that the new version of ISO 21 CFR, or sorry, not ISO, 21 CFR Part 820 went into enforcement and changed all of that, right? Because 1345 doesn't use those acronyms. Now, we've had the discussion before about those acronyms are still valid to use, but it was just funny that on the day where this was all changing, this is what they chose to post to try to explain the differences between the US and the rest of the world, which to me came out as saying you seem to be unaware that the US regulation just changed today and what exactly changed. So that one was pretty humorous as well. And then this one, I don't know why my camera keeps shifting me over in front of the graphic, but this one, we've seen this before. The V diagram, right, is very common in understanding design and development, and it's supposed to help you understand the relationship between your design and development activities and your, verification and validation activities, right? And so there's a gazillion versions out there. All right, here's another one. It's colorful, it looks nice, until again something subtle pops out. All of the arrows in the middle are pointing in the wrong direction. And some of them have the wrong word. It just says verifies, verifies, verifies. It doesn't use validate. If you look at that top one, right, which is telling you, sorry, that hand, that, right, this is validation and acceptance, and it's trying to show how it's connected to user requirements. So the word in the middle should say validates, and it's not that the user requirements verify validation and acceptance, it's that validation and acceptance validates the user requirements. So conceptually, it's showing you the wrong things, right? But again, everybody reposted it and all their fans went, wonderful, great job. And it's just like, no, you're getting this wrong. You could have just borrowed one of the existing gazillion V diagram illustrations that you can find in Google, and you would have done much better than to have an AI try to regenerate this. And then this one was another favorite of mine. Somebody trying to kind of give a high level view of ISO 15223, which is the standard for medical device symbols to use in labeling. And I thought, oh, okay, yeah, I get it, right? It's a big document. And it's hard, nobody memorizes all of these, but they're kind of saying, all right, these are sort of the basic ones that everybody uses. The only problem is almost every one of these symbols is not real according to the standard. So I commented, the poster reached back out, and again, it was sort of apologetic. Oh, I was just trying to, to help people simplify this, but you're right. I guess a couple of them are wrong. And it's like, no, it's not a couple of them. A couple of them are right. Every other one of them is incorrect. And they said, "Oh yeah, sorry about that. You're right. I'll have to fix that." It's never been fixed. This is still out there. The original person posted it, and I don't know how many followers they got, but way too many for them to be putting something that's so wrong in front of them and making them think that they're doing something right. So anyway, that's my rant for today. Just be really careful about this. There's a lot of people out there posing as experts in this area. And again, I appreciate that everybody follows me, but you should be like questioning me all the time as well. Well, Steve, wait, why do you think that way? Because I hope you're not just taking every word out of my mouth as the gospel. I'm offering you my opinion. And like I said, as the title would imply, some of that is heresy. I like to, say that there's no sacred cows, and I'm going to challenge the status quo. So, but you should take that with a grain of salt and think for yourself. Anyway, I'd love to see you guys share some of your favorites out there. If you got some links you want to put in the comments, we could look at some other funny incorrect posts, or just share your opinions. We always like to see that. So I look forward to what you have to say. Otherwise, I'll see you at the next Quality Heretic.